Welcome to MarketStream, everyone. This is taking a look at everything that's happening in the European markets after the open. My name is Joseph Cusick with the Cusick Group, securities offered by MoneyBlock. Let's jump right in. We got a mixed fashion here in Europe. Taking a look at the German DAX. Bounced off of its worst levels so far this morning. As a matter of fact, if I scroll over, you can see, though, a very tight range. And as you will note, you have a trending market to the upside, but it has been grinding and now consolidating. There needs to be a catalyst. And right now, when I look at the DAX up basically 6 points, it's basically flat at 12,813. I'm not seeing the catalyst that I would like to see. In other words, those offensive sectors moving to the upside. You're seeing, though, counter-cyclical kind of names like Bayer or Deutsche Telekom, ones that have big dividends, a little bit more of a safety trade. Or a safer trade. I wouldn't say safety at this juncture. And so you're not seeing the German markets actually moving to the upside with conviction, but a grind. And we're going to watch that grind very closely. But again, until I see this 20-day moving average, which is the green line I'm pointing to, and the 50-day moving average, which is the red line, until I see those challenged, the bulls are in control. But I'm not looking in this juncture to add to any positions that I would have exposure to in Germany. How do you have exposure to Germany? Well, you could do it through ETFs that capitalize on different countries. In other words, they have the stocks in the ETFs and they manage it for you. Or you could actually use an ETF called EWG, which actually focuses directly on Germany. Taking a look at the UK, the bulls have taken control. Right now in the FTSE up 59 points. That's good for 0.8% at $7,514. You can clearly see from this chart the movement to the upside with strength. We had miners, we had metals really, and energy driving earlier this market. Right now what's driving today's market is their CPI, their consumer price index came out a little bit hotter than expected, both month over month and year over year. It came in at 0.5% plus. That was better than expectations of 0.4%. So that's ever so slight. But you have the year over year up 2.4%. That's 0.2% higher than what was expectations going into this part of the year. So the UK is running a little bit higher on inflation. That has the market moving to the upside in the UK. Taking a look at France, Macron working on making sure that not only he puts the right prime minister in place, but he also is making strategic nuances with Germany, basically saying that they need to strengthen the Eurozone relationships. With that, though, you have the French CAC down 10 points. That's good for 0.2% to the downside at $5,406.70. Again, you have this grind. So this is a market where I'm going to watch the 20 and 50-day moving average. Right now, you have autos that are under control. So Peugeot and Renault are under pressure. You have growth names under pressure in France, but obviously not a huge amount of pressure because we have very tight ranges. Where you are seeing a rebound is consumer names, Pernod Ricard, as well as Carrefour, with the bounce that we saw in China and the Japanese markets holding up. These are big markets for those luxury brand names. That's been holding up that segment of the market in the CAC. That is the silver lining at this juncture. But they are the laggards right now on the European continent as the session goes today. Watching the euro, again, you're watching a big pop in the euro. Dollar weakness right now has been a benefit for the euro. Currently right now, you can look at also the British pound, basically trying to lead to the upside. It's been under some pressure, hasn't really challenged its 20-day moving average, but we're going to watch these currency markets very closely. If you start to see these currencies continue to strengthen, specifically the euro, that could basically put the brakes on any upside right now, especially for nations that are large exporters. You could see the commodity markets might come under pressure, as well as some of the exporting nations and some of the components like autos and some of the luxury goods, as well as goods and so forth that come from these various countries. That could put some pressure. Let's watch that very closely. All right, folks, that's it for On the Open, taking a look at the European action so far today. We're going to be back on at 9:30 Eastern Time here at MarketStream. We're going to be talking about everything that's going on in the U.S. Opens. So join us. We'll see you then.